Hi everyone, it's me, Sailor Moon. It is me, Sailor Mars. And today we're going to talk about, you know, the upsides and downsides to having your films in 1080p HD, which that's what we do. Some of you folks watching our films will know is 1080p HD unless you looked at the settings underneath your player and you would see that. Now, one of the downsides to something being in 1080p HD is it takes longer to upload. And I am not making that up. There's going to be a lot of folks out there saying, yeah, well, interweb givers, whoever they might be, only give you so much speed for uploading films. And I know someone might say, oh, well, that's the downside of it. Yeah, but you know what you're getting into with it. Don't get me started with 4K, because I bet you the films take even longer to upload than they do when they're in HD. You know? Yeah, you're right about that, You're right about that, Sailor Moon. You see, you're right about that, Serena. You see, we've been making our films in 1080p HD since March of last year. So it hasn't really been that long ago. Before that, our films would have been somewhere in Dolby Digital or DD, whatever you want to call it, and it would have been 1080p at great with all the other filming shooter tools that we worked with over the span of the years. you know? So I can't really say, but that is one of the downsides of it. Now, sometimes there's any upsides to it, your films look more brighter and more cleaner, but it has to do with the lighting. So don't think that don't think HD is going to make things brighter. It has to work with whatever lighting you have in your room, whatever you're filming at. So keep in mind that. And sometimes it takes longer for YouTube to fillet the film, which is old news just to begin with. It's old news, you know. But when we're talking about this films getting filleted and everything, that's all on YouTube. That really has nothing to do with your reckoner after that. But we've been doing our films in 1080p HD since March of last year, and there is a big unlikeness between what the films look like. Now, yeah, Sailor Mars, but there's going to be someone out there who's going to say something like, "Oh well, you should be doing your films in 4K. Don't you know 4K is the newest offshoot of HD or whatever?" Yeah, but it's worth way too much. And any disc or player or farseer or reckoner that can run things in it, or shooter that's going to film things in it, it's going to be way too much. And who knows how long it takes a 4K film to upload, you know, keeping in mind your interweb speed, your interweb giver, and how much speed it gives to you with uploading, and how much it's going to take for your reckoner, your interweb, and the Webstead's reckoner, being YouTube, to handle the upload. And in mind, see how long it's going to take for a film to get filleted and playable if it's in 4K. So no, we're never going to be putting our films in 4K, and if there's anyone out there that's into that, well then good for you, but we're never going to be putting it in that. You know? So that is one of the downsides to making films and HD is they take longer to upload. Not all the time. Sometimes they don't take that long. Sometimes they take long. Yeah, you're right, Sailor Moon. And one of the upsides to having films in 1080p HD, at least for us, we can't speak for anyone else, is that our films are more brighter, at least when we have the light on, because HD is not a wonder maker here. HD has to work with the lighting it's already in your film to make it more brighter. So don't think it's going to make your film brighter and you don't have to have your lights on or anything, because you do, you know. But yeah, and it's not our It's really it's a Jellycam, that is a web shooter tool or web shooter, and the web shooting tool that our web shooter runs through that puts everything in 1080p HD. It's just set to that. Yeah, we can shift the brightness while we're filming if we wanted to, but it's already bright enough as it is. So anyway, that's all we got to talk about here. Yeah, you're right, Sailor Mars. Well, I hope you all like this film, us talking about having our films in HD. For some of you folks, you already know we've been doing that since March of last year. And for some of you folks, you probably never knew we did put our films in HD. But our films are never going to be in 4K. It's just worth way too much. And who knows how long it takes a film to upload and fillet and become playable if it's in that. So at the end of the day, thank you. Watch us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Watch the last film we made yesterday over here. Sailor Moon, Sailor Mars, out.